What's good, y'all? It's your girl Alexis with Recap Sports Focus, and we got the crew and back in the building on Sunday Night Football. Introduce.
Yeah. What it do? What it do? This your boy Coach Solly, man. We got a lot to talk about. Recap, no cap. You know what I mean?
Whoop whoop. Recap Sports Focus. It's your boy Coach Big Boss in the building, and we got a game recap for you.
You
That we,
best to believe it. You
but
best to believe it, man.
Sir.
the most
Yes,
recent
sir.
Yeah,
game,
that I mean, yeah, that I mean.
Yes,
what was
sir.
happening with the Yay area? What was going on with the
Oh
49ers?
my goodness.
Are we
Welcome to
back?
the
What's going on?
yeah area.
Man,
Are we
what's
back to
going
Pume
on?
Pume again?
Look
Man,
more
what's
like the
going
prey
on?
area.
Yeah, it's the
Okay.
prayer area now.
We need
Let
some
me jump
prayer.
out front. I
The
just want
bang
to tell
bang
you,
ain't working with y'all no more. What's going
no,
on?
we put the pistols up. There is no more bang bang. Now we got to go back to the chalkboard, daddy. We got problems. We got problems. We gonna hang tight though.
Yeah, well, I mean, I could say this,
Hold
I
on.
always give
Hold on.
4-3.
So what are your thoughts on the Niners versus the Bengals? We got 31-17 final score. What's up?
Yeah, area look more like the prayer area today. They need
Unfortunately.
some
Man,
prayer up there. Uh,
man, we got problems. I tell you, we got to go back to the drawing board. We got problems. I am so upset with some of the coaching. I haven't seen nothing different in 3 games. We're doing the same old thing. So we got problems. We got to figure this out, or else it's going to be a busted series season. It's
well,
going to be a busted
and
season.
it is. I'm gonna say this right. Bosa. It's been a lot of hype around Bosa getting that $200 million. He got the bag. Now he ain't getting no sacks. The defense doesn't look aggressive. They looking like they playing real lackluster. I don't see that aggressive defense that I seen the first few games, attacking the quarterback, giving him pressure. Bosa's not getting no pressure on the quarterback. He's not earning his 200 million right now. In my opinion,
Well,
I
once
always give.
again, I disagree. I totally disagree. That's all he's doing is getting pressures. He's right there. He could have easily had 4 sacks, but they double, triple teaming him. I don't think the refs are giving him his calls. But I will say this: I don't think he's the smartest defensive lineman in the book because a lot of his plays, he should have stayed home. I mean, yeah, you power rushing, power rushing, power rushing, but he's picking the wrong side. Joe Mixon goes right outside. His job is not just to sack the quarterback, but to contain the outside containment. And he's going inside and a touchdown, touchdown. So yeah, I don't know. I just never it never fails when you give up that kind of money. You're saying take me to the promised land, and it seems
Period.
like it just seems like they never play that. I think you should play into your contract, not demand your contract.
But I want to say this also. Shout out to the Bengals, man. They had a great game. Joe Burrow looked back like the old Joe Burrow form. Mixon, the running back, Mixon looked really good. He's a Barrett native, went to Freedom High School. Uh, he looked very
Oakland,
good, man,
California.
coming back. Oakland, California.
I said Oakley.
Oh, yeah, Oakley, that's correct.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, but anyway, yeah, Mixon looked real good. I always give props to the Bengals. Their defense stepped up. I mean, some of they got out coached today, like you said, and they just playing lackluster. They was right there in the game, had a bad turnover at the end of the third quarter where they could have went up and possibly tied the game, I believe. And Purdy threw an interception. I'm gonna talk about some quarterback play with Purdy. He seemed kind of in and out. He had some good flashes, and then I never seen him look this inconsistent since I've been watching him. He is a young quarterback. I'm not
So would you say
throwing him
his
under the bus.
concussion? Would you say his
I,
concussion
I
came
think
into play?
so. I think so. I think he's rattled. I think he got rattled. before the Cincinnati game. I think he got rattled in the last game, and then he had a concussion, and I don't think he's ready. And then again, he hit his head again, and he seems like he's just in a fog, in a buzz. A lot of behind, like we said this last week, a lot of passes behind, a lot of passes overthrown, and then you see a player who doesn't throw a pick in almost a whole season and then throws 5 in 2 games. Something's wrong. Well, actually, one call got called back. I think the coach, I'm trying to figure out Shanahan. Now, Shanahan, why are you putting this young man in a position to fail? You're letting him throw too much. You got 4
I
running
disagree
backs.
with that.
But this goes back
Use
to what we
them.
were talking about last week, how we said Shanahan may be a little too rough on just singling out players. So if you knew that it was questionable already before Purdy was even walking into this game and you weren't really confident in it, why would you bring him back so soon?
Well, that's
Great
the problem.
question.
He was overconfident. See, as he always is. When I mean, don't put the quarterback in a situation to fail. Don't put the game in his hands. Take it out of his hands. Give it to the running backs, whether they get a yard or not. Make them respect the running game, so then he can use some play action and hit some of the wide open plays. But if you just got him just dropping back almost every play, where they realize you ain't got no running game, so then they just pin their ears back and come try to take your quarterback's head off. You think the NFL doesn't realize that we get Purdy out of here, this is a different team. So that's what everybody's coming for it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's somebody, the Niners are definitely a team to think about for the playoffs, especially with Purdy. So,
I mean, they still in a good. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, so I'd rather they take care of that injury now versus later, where the game is going to really
you're
count.
5-3. You're absolutely right.
I wouldn't have made him play against the Bengals. I'm sorry, I wouldn't have.
It wasn't worth it.
It wouldn't be worth it to me. That's not a crucial game, in my opinion.
It's not a crucial game. You're 5-3. You're still 500. You're still leading the division. You put your future in jeopardy. Sure enough, he goes out there and bangs. I would not be surprised if he's back in concussion protocol.
I wouldn't be surprised either.
I would not be surprised.
Yeah,
not a good move, Shanahan. Not a good move, coach.
Today.
And last play, you got out coached. What about your secondary? Who's calling the defensive plays? I'm a little bit upset with your secondary. You're just going to keep letting these guys. You brought in Oliver, who was a backup corner. I know you guys hurt, but you bring in Oliver, and they're picking on him. They're going at him relentlessly. And then he's not a push-up corner. He can't play up. He's got to play back.
Yeah.
Yeah. All around not the best game for the 49ers, but I can't say the Bengals definitely came out to play. They had a pretty good game. I mean, like I said, some early sloppy kind of at first, a lot of turnovers.
Mm-hmm.
I believe 49ers had some crucial turnovers at the end. Even the Bengals had a couple early, but however, they was able to make up for their turnovers at the end. I seen a play at the end of the first half, where 49ers had got a big turnover, and it was bad management of the clock as they was going down. I believe it was 7-10. And McCaffrey got the ball.
Go down, he tries to keep
going. He doesn't go down.
He
tries to keep going.
Yeah.
Exactly. That was a crucial part at the end of the half. I think they could have got some points out of that. And then that kind of flipped the momentum. So when the Bengals came back second half to receive the ball, it seemed like the momentum was all from the second half all the way on their side until the end of the game. So,
that's when Purdy threw his interception. 49ers got the ball first in the second half, and sure enough, turnover. The problem, I want to give a shout out to the Mixon family out of my old hometown, Lakeview, California. The Mixons, who he is a son of, one of the Mixons. Shout out to the Grisby family. That's his mom. And I tell you what, he ran that ball today. He represented the Bay. He ran hard. I think he ran for like 90+ yards, and so I'm not really tripping off the game, but I am concerned about the defense. You're not playing up into the caliber of what this defense was built for. I don't know if they're being on the field too long, but I'm not, especially when it comes against the run. I'm not used to seeing this defense giving up that many yards running. And you're just secondary. It's been the history of the 49ers these last 5, 6 years that your secondary is getting picked on. Everybody knows you can throw on the secondary.
Yeah, they just lost. So that was just a bad game. 3 straight losses. What other game we got going? What we got going, Coach Lex?
We got Jacksonville Jaguars and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Which
Okay,
we
Jackson.
talked,
Go ahead.
look, we talked about this. You know what I mean? We said, look, Jacksonville's undefeated on away games. So it is very possible that they was going to beat the Steelers at home. You cannot
Yeah.
underestimate them. They undefeated. Like, it speaks for
They're
itself.
looking good. Jacksonville, you know what? I definitely predicted the Steelers was going to win this game. I knew it was going to be a hard-fought game. This was one of the games, my pick of the week. I thought, with the coaching of Mike Tomlin and maybe some good defense, they could pull this game out. Of course, they don't have the best offense. They got a young offensive quarterback in Pickett. The offensive coordinator is a little new to the system. So I knew it was going to be a tough game for the Steelers, but somehow I thought they was going to weed it out due to the fact it was in Pittsburgh. However, that wasn't the case. Jacksonville came to play. Shout out, and I tip my hats off to the Jacksonville Jaguars for going to Pittsburgh and getting a big win.
I mean, they did. I'll give Jacksonville that they did come to play, but one thing I did notice is that both teams with their red zone attempts, they couldn't achieve it. So it's like, I can't just be like their offense was amazing. Like, you couldn't even achieve what you wanted to achieve in the red zone.
Well, I agree with you on
I
that.
pay attention to stuff like that. So
I
it's
agree
like
with you on
they
that.
won. It was a sloppy win, but they won.
Well, that's just the way Pittsburgh wants it. Pittsburgh wants it a sloppy win. It was a defensive game. Once again, shout out to T.J. Watt for giving up a plan and giving his team an opportunity to be in the game with a strong pass rush, and also to Hendrick Highsmith. Oh man, the utility linebacker for the Pittsburgh Steelers. They played great games, but I tell you what, Pickett gets hurt. Pickett gets hurt in the game, and he goes out. And so if he could have played the rest of the game, they got to possibly the rookie of the year at wide receiver coming out of USC. Who's got speed, he's got height, he's got great hands, but he was frustrated. You can obviously tell he was frustrated. He didn't get a chance to get his passes. But I picked the Jacksonville Jaguars to go into the Steel Curtain's house. I noticed how they was swinging some of the terrible towels after they scored a touchdown. That was kind of insulting to the Pittsburgh Steelers Nation. But congratulations to the running back possibly of the year, Etienne. He had a big game. He ran all.
He's nice.
So Did you see that 56-yard touchdown, though?
Yes. But you know what? You're right. Maybe he didn't have a lot of yards, but he got first down after first down. And that's what counts. He was able to help his team.
You pinned out, and you said something that was red, Alexis, right there, the 56-yard TD run. What I'm starting to see in the NFL, and why these quarterbacks are getting hurt and they're getting banged up, we talked about this before, about the running game being avoided, the running game being abandoned in the NFL. And it's like, the best balanced teams are winning teams. You got to have a balance in life. You got to have a balance in football. That's just what it is. No balance, no life. So you got to have a running game. Yeah, I mean, you can't. Like I said, the most thing irks me is you're in the red zone, you're at the 3-yard line, you're in a shotgun. I just don't understand that. But shout out to Jacksonville. Great balance. Lexus, you said that, great balance with the running game. And Trevor Lawrence is looking like MVP style. He's starting to look like he's putting up MVP as a leader. He's starting to put the team on his back. It looked like Trevor Lawrence is being really coached up
Yeah,
in Jacksonville also. And yeah, kudos to Jacksonville. However, I think Mike Tomlin will bounce back. Hopefully Pickett gets healthy and they can rebound from this loss.
agreed. Oh, let's talk about the NFC East battle against the Eagles
Okay.
and the Commanders. That was a close game through and through. But I will say the Commanders kind of held the game for the most part, but the Eagles came out fighting at the end when it really counted.
Well, that's what
They definitely
champions
did.
do. They never
Right.
give up. That's exactly what champions do. They bend, but they don't break. I got to give you credit, Lexi. You said that the Commanders was going to give the Philadelphia Eagles a good game, and you're
Definitely did.
absolutely right. They gave them everything they had.
Yes.
Unfortunately, a few penalties cost them this game. They
Yes.
allowed Philadelphia to get back in it, and then they smelled blood, and so they went on and closed the game out. Got to give it to the coaching staff of the Philadelphia Eagles. They always come with a plan, and I like it when your plan comes together if you're prepared. You also, Jalen Hurts got to be the best quarterback with athleticism. You know, some have great arms, some have a little this. I thought Mahomes probably had the best athleticism, but Jalen Hurts is a boy. And you got to
He
be looking
is.
He
forward.
is.
Look, in the future, he's going to be the pitcher of this league. The
Yeah.
league's, yes, the league's going to hurt.
Commanders, Eagles. Great NFC East battle. Always interdivision games. It's always hard fought games. Me being honest, I thought the Eagles was going to basically roll over the Commanders. However, like you said, it was going to be a pretty good battle. Eagles came back hard fought at the end and did what they were supposed to do, and that's what championship teams do. All their games won't be pretty wins. If you're a Super Bowl caliber, upper echelon playoff team, you will find ways to win the close games. And that's what the Philadelphia Eagles did. They looked great on offense at the end. It seemed like they hit another
Shout out alert
stride.
to AJ Brown though. Okay.
Yeah,
AJ
yeah.
Brown is like looking like one of definitely top 5 receivers in the league. He's feeling his stride, and him and oh my God, the quarterback, they're getting a real good chemistry. Him and AJ Brown are starting to be a definitely dynamic duo. And but the Eagles took all they could fight with the Commanders. I'm gonna give the Commanders some props. Commanders are fighting. They're well coached. They're not laying down. Every game I've seen them play, they are coming to play. However, they just need a little more talent
But
out there in
we do
Washington.
got to shout out the Commanders O line though for giving the QB plenty of time to make those smart passes. I think that's what kept them in the game. He had plenty of time to throw the ball.
Definitely.
You got to have an offensive line. You got to have a line. If you're going to play quarterback in the NFL, you need some big guys blocking up front strong.
Yeah.
You know, I just think they're one or two draft picks away from being a strong playoff team in the NFL. It's been a long time since the Commanders, aka the Washington Redskins, were a power in this league. But we look forward to what's coming in the future. I believe when they got the number one pick, like a couple years ago, he's been injured. The defensive end Chase, but
Chase.
but Chase had a pretty big game. He's still trying to get his health 100%. I don't think he's quite playing at 100%, but we look forward to them having maybe a 500 season this year. They obviously play hard. So
They do. They
shout
play
out to the
hard.
Commanders. Got
They
to
play
give
hard.
credit to the Philly for they're leading the league. They're leading the NFL now with a 7-1 record.
Yeah, that's man.
Yeah.
And they look good. I think they're the only one lost team left.
Only one lost to 10.
Yeah, but moving right along.
We got the
What we
New
looking at?
Yorkers, the battle of the New Yorkers, the Jets versus the Giants. It was a low scoring
Yeah.
game, but I think that's for good reason. They fought hard.
Yeah. Go
Well,
ahead.
we called it. We said it was going to be a fight. We said it was going to be a field goal. You heard it right here at Recap Sports Focus.
You did.
Oh, I wish they didn't flash on anything.
You dig? You know what I mean?
We ain't gonna never tell you no lie now.
Yes,
Well,
sir.
we ain't gonna lie to you. No cap. It's no cap sports. Recap, no cap, all facts.
That part.
Man,
put it on the t-shirt.
I'm gonna say it again. Recap, no cap, all facts.
Whoop, whoop. Hey, what a fight. This was a fight. This was a fight. Defensive game. A lot of sloppy play, but they got to kind of give it to Wilson. He threw the ball. See, this is another game where there was a lot of yards up and down the field, but not much scoring. You know, Wilson looked good, though. I can tell he's getting the right kind of, tutorship from Aaron
Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers. Yes, he's helping him out. He's showing him how to be patient in the pocket and how to go through his progression. He looked good today. I got to give him credit, but I just kind of feel sorry for the Giants. They're out there, their leader, he's not around. And you just think that when you have a team beat for three and a half quarters and you lose at the end of the game like that, I wouldn't want to be in the Giants locker room right now.
No, I mean, and I talked about this game. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I know they'd be salty, but those penalties too.
I wanted to
sloppy game, but
I want to talk about the penalties. This is one of the games we pinpointed earlier, and I kind of stressed who was going to be the home team. New York Jets versus New York Giants. Who's the home team? Come to find out, the home team did win, which was the New York Jets. It was a hard fought. The Jets was the home field, had the home field. However, we all know they play on the same field, which was kind of interesting. We talked about that yesterday, barbershop talk. The New York Jets at the end just came out a little better. On top, it was a sloppy game. We knew it was raining. We knew it was going to be a slugfest out there, kind of like a throwback 88 game type deal. I enjoyed it. I watched it to the end. But Giants had the game all game.
But you know what they do when it counts?
And then just gave it up in the end.
But when it counts in the fourth quarter, what do? They choke every time.
Yeah.
That's even with Jones playing. So, I mean, I can't give too much credit to the quarterback.
Jets.
I know Barkley I'm pretty sure Barkley now is pretty happy. Maybe he didn't get the contract extension, and imagine him on a contender. Like the Ravens or even the Chiefs. Oh my God! I mean, if Barkley gets out of New York, they're in trouble.
Yeah.
Yes, without a doubt.
Who do you think would try to snag him first, though?
Well, I mean, I think the league. I mean, basically, he's such a threat. He's such a threat. He's such a threat. I mean, it's 10 teams. I love to have him. I'm gonna say the Ravens. I would say the Ravens probably be one. I would say the Cowboys. That would be a good look for him. I would say
Hollywood.
I can see Kansas.
Him. Could you
Kansas
see him
City?
At the, how about those? Could you see him at the Chargers though? Woo-hoo.
Chargers.
See, that would push them. Nice. Yeah, that would be. He's go Hollywood, go to LA.
That's what I'm saying. He. I mean, it's a multiple teams that he would add a whole nother element to their squad.
But
definitely bring people to those seats.
Right,
he's a dynamic running back. That's going to be the same thing as playing New York. See, right now, New York's got a good fan base. They sell out every game. but he doesn't have the pieces up there. So yeah, there'll be 10 teams, but I wouldn't go to a team where I'm not going to look at a chance to go to the playoffs where I fit the puzzle. He needs to go where all they need is him to get there, and that limits the amount of teams that you want to go to.
Yeah, definitely the LA
why?
Chargers.
Yeah, I
Would be a
mean,
good place.
well, you
That's
know what?
somebody to keep in mind then.
Yeah, well, you know
Mhm.
what? One good team too that I can see a trade for Nick Chubb for him up in Cleveland. Ooh,
I thought that Cleveland would be good too. So
yeah. They
anybody
only
with a
won.
nice, decent quarterback, man, I mean, you're at that threat. I mean, even with a young Houston Texan team, he wouldn't be bad. However, they're a little young probably for him at this time. But
Yeah.
I can see the Chiefs, man. I mean, the Chiefs lights out.
Yeah. It just depends who's going to be willing to cough up that money.
True that. True that.
And who got money right now.
That's it. That's it. That's it. Side note, I just want to throw in there, man. My boy was doing the big cousin dance. This is no cap, man. We just got alert, man. My boy tore his ACL, Kirk Cousins, after the big win against the 49ers. Torn ACL, out for the season. Had a heck of a game. They still pulled out the win against the Green Bay Packers. However, shout out on our recap. We posted Cousins doing this big cousins dance. And he did some great energy. However, he tore his ACL. Hopefully, get
Well,
well.
I
Yeah.
tried to tell you. It's the same old. I told you.
Same
I told
story.
you. I told you. Now I don't
Nah,
push a man when he's down, but same old story. And the bottom line was he wasn't having a great game before he got hurt. It's because he's a deer in the headlights.
that's cap. He
He
was actually
wasn't
having a
having
good
a great
game.
game.
That's cap.
Oh my
He
Well,
goodness.
was
read
having
his
a good
stats.
game.
Let's read his stats. He
Cap.
was having an
Pull up the
okay game.
stats, Lex. Pull up the stats.
Yeah. In the meantime, let's let him go. Take the chains off. I saw the other day where they said they call you the nerd. That's the first
He
time he
still
ever.
got the
They
W.
didn't even know. They didn't even know he could dance. You put on some chains and you got heavy, big headed.
He been rocking
To
them
watch out.
chains. They've been putting them
Hey,
chains on him since last season. What do you
Coach
mean?
Solly, you know what
What
happened,
you
Coach Solly?
mean?
You know what
What?
happened, Coach Solly? He didn't see
Nah,
that truck coming. Woo! Woo! Woo!
nah.
Get out,
I mean, it's
son.
kind of messed up, man. The league, a lot of people getting banged up very
Hey,
early.
that's
Man, I
football.
don't see at the end of this game, end of this season. I don't know, man. I mean, the
It's
healthiest
over.
team gonna win.
Hey, that's
Yeah, but you know who the healthiest teams are the teams that are switching their players out.
come on,
Which
Lex.
is
And
Coach,
that's why the Niners are in
say that.
trouble. And that's why the
That's
Niners
why
are in
we're in
trouble.
trouble. That's why Dallas plays good. That's why you have all these
Well,
other
I
Dallas
can't
teams.
plays.
say that
Oh my
necessarily
God.
because Dallas just started doing that this
Well,
season.
I'm talking about now. That's why they're
Yeah, because last season when we
because
had Kellen Moore, it wasn't working like that. It was
you
give it
got
to
to
Zeke, give it
rotate
to
your
Zeke,
players in.
give it to Zeke.
Same players.
But
Yeah,
now we
same
talking about
players.
the big D. I want to let's give applause to my daughter Alexis team. Let's give a hand for her, America's team,
Woo!
the
Woo! Woo!
Dallas
How about
Hey,
them
by
Cowboys.
the way,
Cowboys?
How
yeah, how
about
about
them
them
Cowboys?
Cowboys?
Oh my
40,
Congratulations to the
God.
20, 20.
Cowboys.
Okay, well, I'm gonna be honest.
Congratulations.
Let me start this one. I'm
Hey,
gonna say this,
before you
right?
do that, Coach, I just want to
What's
tell you
up?
we're sending some balloons to Kirk Cousins because we know he's not feeling well right now. So
Ah,
we just
well,
want to say a shout out to Kirk Cousins.
one thing about Kirk
I,
Cousins, he kept
I,
it
I
lit.
know your season is
But
over, but congratulations to being a hell of a quarterback. I'm not taking nothing away from Chris Cousins. I don't want to kick his man daddy down, but we're gonna send him some balloons. All right.
well, moving right along with those Cowboys, back what we
Yes, sir.
saying. I was shocked. I'm gonna be honest, the way they jumped on the Rams. Now it's not the fact that they won, it's in the way that they won. They
They
came out there, they was doing
Cowboys are
no
some
plan.
bullies.
They came out there doing no plan. They was Dak
Bullies.
Prescott looked good. I just say this, once again, I think I told you this before, Alexis. I said after the loss to the Niners, I said I want to see how they respond because it's only one
Micah
loss,
Parsons.
right? And then the response I'm seeing from these last 2 wins is they looking good. I'm not finna start rolling out no Super Bowl and all that over no one win. However, what I am saying is
Hey, that's
that
3 wins to you. That's 3 wins,
well,
sir.
what I'm saying is
Huh.
I'm not gonna roll out no Super Bowl carpet, but CD Lamb probably had the best game of his career by
For now.
far. That was probably one. See, and I told you this. It all it's really everybody's starting to see it's not all on Dak. His receiving core is really not that
Yeah.
good.
Because if we're looking at
CD
Lamb
Lamb drops a lot of
today,
passes,
Lamb had
but
2
Lamb had his best game today.
Lamb
Well,
had his
what
two
was his record? What
touchdowns.
did
He
he have?
had 12 catches and 158 yards. So he
How
played a
many
good.
times did they throw the ball to him, though?
12 catches for
Uh,
158
no,
yards.
no. I asked how many times did they throw the ball to him? See, he caught it 12 times. I want to know because the reason why is because, see, the coach decided that if you want to be effective, you got to get the ball in your best player's hand. Now, I heard the coach say that today. So we're going to feed the best player.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
Lex, what do you think about? Give me some insight on your Cowboys.
Well, how many times did they throw the ball? She's looking it up. I know he caught 12.
We'll get back to that.
Okay.
But me personally, I feel like there was no edge on the Rams defense, which was kind of messing them up, and Dallas getting those first downs. That was
Mhm.
one thing. And then
You're right.
Stafford's thumb injury, that changed
Mhm.
a lot of things too, because I had a glimpse of a moment where I was like, they could possibly come back in the third quarter. But then once you started seeing he was fiddling with his thumb, I was like, oh yeah, Dallas got it in the bag. He out the game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
That took a little
Give me
bit of.
some what happened with Michael Parsons? Give me some insight. What was this game like? I was checking out CD
I did
Michael.
see that he got a sack today, but Bland
Okay.
was somebody that I was paying attention to as well, who got a pick six.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
But I
Okay.
think that was because the way Stafford threw the ball, he threw it like 5 yards in when he was trying to throw it to Cup. And Bland was right there ready to catch it. So it was a wrap after that too. It was like our defense, like Cousin said, they were bullies today. But I mean, I'm surprised that you said you're shocked about that because that's just the identity of Dallas' defense. Our offense is who I was more focused on today. Like, are they gonna wake up? I really wanted to see my defense sitting on the bench, and I wanted offense to steal the show today. And that's exactly what they did.
Yeah, definitely.
Defense gonna come to play, but man, when you wear them out because they out there on the field majority of the game, the score looks a little different. So I was like, I got to give credit where credit is due to McCarthy, but his
Yeah,
time
McCarthy.
management on throwing a challenge, like, sir, do better.
Yeah, McCarthy. I mean, you can't sleep on him. Everybody kind of looking at him like, he's under this microscope, because he's in Dallas, and he's playing for America's team. But he started to turn the corner. They picking up the offense fairly quick.
Yeah,
They're playing hard. Like I said, all around, that was probably the best Dallas game I've seen from top to bottom and for their home fans. So that was a big win. I don't know what's going on with the Rams. The Rams is coming off that Super Bowl high. Aaron Donald is definitely not the same player he used to be. He is
He
older
gets
now.
double team.
but
Yeah, he gets
He gets
double
double
team or
team.
triple
can't
team.
nobody say that Dallas won this because we just played any team.
No, that's what I said. I
You
mean,
know what I
the
mean? Because
Rams
some
are a
people be
decent.
like, "Oh, look at what their record is." It's like, no. Look
The
who they're
Rams are a
playing
decent team.
overall. Yeah.
The Rams are a decent
The
team. But I want to see when y'all
defense
play
played
Philly.
horrible.
When we
I
play
want to
Philly,
see when y'all circle that game, Dallas, Philly.
But after,
Hey, I might fly out to Dallas or
wait,
Philly, go
but
get a cheesesteak
Theo,
and see that game.
but after you just saw how they played the Commanders, which is a NFC East battle, what you think they're gonna get when they play Dallas?
I don't know. That's why I said let's circle the game.
You
Let's
think we're not
scratch.
gonna,
Let's check that one.
you think we're not gonna go out there and play hard? We do every time.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that, but the thing is, they're physical too. See, Philly is a physical defense. They're physical on both sides of the ball too. So
Are.
it's gonna be a heavyweight bout. But I'm not gonna take y'all shine away today. Y'all had a great game today. We're gonna stay here. We're gonna come on back to today and give y'all chips. Give
Give us credit
y'all
where
hot.
credit is
I'm gonna
due.
give y'all hot Cheetos. With your
Because
50
just
cent
when y'all
soda.
doubted us, now y'all starting to give a little side eye and be like, could they be the NFC East champs? It's a possibility now. That's in conversation. And
Well, definitely.
with
But
good
you gotta
reason.
be Philly. I mean, this period. There's no ifs, ands, buts about it.
Yes, we
NFC
have to be
champs.
Philly,
You
but
gotta
Philly
be
got to
Philly.
remain doing good too.
They are. They haven't lost.
Because on the second half of the season, things change. Especially
So how we got to our first 8 games, or are we
Well,
still
I
where we
never
at?
got a chance to. I never
go ahead,
got a
Cuzzo.
chance to respond to the Dallas game. What I wanted to say was, first of all, let me make a correction. This is Dallas' second win. It wasn't 3; it was 2. But I wanted to say that CeeDee Lamb was targeted 14 times, and he caught 12 for 158 yards. But he averaged 13.2 yards per catch. But I just didn't like the way the defense was for LA Rams. It just looks horrible. The defensive line, and you said it right, Aaron Donald. He gets double teamed all day, but I saw some of the pursuits on the running plays. He just kind of gave up on the plays. I don't know if he was saving his energy. I just say, hey, I'm yelling, hey, what are you doing? Aaron Donald, we paid you a lot of money. Go get him. So,
And then
Aaron
you got
Donald,
to think Sam Bradford. He's a great quarterback, but I think he's getting back into his old habits. I just think they on a Super Bowl high.
Sam Bradford
Like
or Matthew Stafford.
Matthew Stafford. Excuse me,
Okay. Yes,
Matthew
sir.
Stafford. I think Matthew Stafford is on a Super Bowl hangover. I think they still ain't came back from that hangover winning that first
Well, you
Super
better
Bowl.
wake up.
well, take an
I
aspirin.
think he kind of satisfied with that.
Take an
Yeah, well, you
aspirin
better
and wake
wake
up
up.
because
It's not up to him.
in a snap like that, they'll be forgotten that they even won the Super Bowl. Keep
I
playing
think
like
they
that.
all feeling good and not really tripping on. I'm just gonna keep it 100 because I haven't seen that same Rams team that
Well, that's on. Hey, coach got to call the plays.
it's kind of like once a dog get his bone, you know what I'm saying? Everybody ain't hungry to go get another one. That's the difference
Okay,
separates.
I hear what you're
I don't
saying.
know too
That's
many
what
teams like
separates the
that.
greats. That's what
I hear
separates
what
the
you're
greats,
saying.
B. That's what
But you got a
separates the
coach that
greats.
said. But you got a coach that said he was going to retire after the Super Bowl. So then
Yeah,
one
he's
minute
a young coach.
One
That
minute
would have
he's
been
going to
dumb.
retire, then he comes back. He comes back next year, and he was arguably the worst team the second season after a Super Bowl win.
That's what
They
I
got the
mean, because
bus
that's what I'm
game.
saying, Coach Stalin.
Got the bus
They
kick
haven't
game at
after
the
the
game.
Super Bowl. They have not been the
Well,
same team
you're only going to
whatsoever.
play according to your coach. He has to lead you, prepare you for a game, and lead you in there. And I just think that whoever was his assistants that year, he obviously don't have them no more. So maybe he getting exposed. Maybe
Definitely.
he wasn't really all what we thought he was. Because right now he can't fight his way out of paper bag.
They got a Super Bowl, so he is a good coach.
Come on, we got
once
talking.
again, like I said, once again, it's kind of like
talking about now.
Well, but I'm just
We're
saying though, you
about
have to
now.
be a good team. You have to be a good coach to win a Super Bowl. That's just
Yeah.
what it is. You
But
can't take that from him.
But just because
However,
Super
to
Bowl 1 year, they
repeat,
could look horrible the next 3 years. That don't mean
Yeah.
nothing.
That's
That
why you
don't
don't
mean
have
you're
so
such a
many.
great
That's why
coach.
you don't have so many back to back. That's why people get so praised for winning championships back to back because it rarely happens. If that makes sense, you
Yeah,
know.
but you lose coaches in this league these days. See, coaches there's almost 30 coaches on every team. Look at the 49ers. If they could have kept all their coaches, they would have been won 3 Super Bowls in a row. But
Right.
every year one of the defensive coordinators gets an NFL team. And it's
And that's what
hard to
me and my
start.
brother, but just side note, me and my brother Coach Mustafa used to talk about in youth football. Me coaching, I told him as an organization when I was coaching the midgets, which is the oldest, I like you coach the bottom, which is all the kids and the parents, so we could kind of keep this thing structured. However, every year I got a new team. It's like we'll win, and then I got a whole new bunch of kids coming from. So I never, it's hard to keep uh uh that you have to
Starting
retool
over.
kids over and over and over.
Starting over, yeah.
However, you know, shout out to
He
him
kept the
too and us
same team.
winning. He was able to keep that same team and that the same team from 6 years old to 13. I mean, it's like, man, you know what I mean? They know
Well,
you,
the
you know
same
them.
thing goes for
They
coaching.
almost
And that's interesting, but that's
Snoop Dogg was
interesting.
the same way. I watched Snoop Dogg. I'm just saying, Snoop, same thing, Lex. He had some kids from 6, 7 years old. He coached them all the way to 14, 15. Once they went to high school, he stopped coaching. He didn't want to coach nobody else. And see, to
So
me,
you
I don't.
agree. So you agree the same thing happens for coaching. You keep your staff together, you build something. You lose
Yeah,
them, and then
I was gonna say, like, it seems like that identity of how players play kind of stems back to when they were playing in the youth because the coaches let them have that mentality of, yeah, we win hard this year, but we didn't play so good this following year. But it's all about the mental.
it's
That's
all
it.
about the
So it
That,
mental.
carries over
it is.
into adulthood when they do play professional. So I see where Boss is talking about coaching too.
Definitely.
Yeah,
I mean, it's all continuity with everything. Continuity is key
Mm-hmm.
to winning. Continuity is key to life. I mean, the better consistency you have, the consistency shows, the system shows to prevail. The
Yeah.
49ers, I can't get them, some excuses in a sense. A lot of their coordinators, because they were so good, a lot of their coordinators are head coaches. You got the defensive coordinator who's the head coach of the New York Jets. The original offensive coordinator is the head coach of the Miami Dolphins. So
their other
Shanahan,
defensive coordinator is a head
so
coach
Shanahan, go ahead.
of the Houston Texans right now,
Right. So
DeMarco Ryan.
Shanahan is continuously you don't see this is what I said I was going through when you got good coaches and you building, you winning. They're getting offered jobs. They're going here. You send them there. So Shanahan is continuously getting new defensive coordinators, new offensive coordinators, because his coordinators are getting head coaching jobs.
So
So I mean,
Yeah,
are they not paying them enough to keep them there?
well, no, they want an
well,
opportunity, Alexis. They want everyone.
yeah.
You get an opportunity to coach a head coach in this league right here. You got to go for it.
But I mean,
You
think
don't
about
want
Well,
to
it,
say
not necessarily, because think about it this way. There were several occasions where Dan Quinn had the opportunity to take a head coaching job and he stayed with Dallas as the defensive coordinator. So
Well,
that
you know
doesn't
why?
necessarily mean you say
I
yes.
believe because he knew every coach who is looked at or requested to be offensive coordinator knows he really doesn't have the skill. It's one thing to be a coordinator; it's another thing to be the head. Look at the old middle linebacker for Chicago Bears who finally got a shot
Michael
because of
Singletary.
Mike Singletary, the respect they had for him. But he's a defensive player. He really wasn't good at head coaching, and he admitted it. He probably
Cap.
should have just been a defensive coordinator.
Michael Singletary
No,
definitely was a great head coach. Are you kidding me? He was a
no, he
he was a
wasn't. He was
leader.
horrible. Horrible.
He's the reason the 49ers are
Well, he can recruit.
are
He can
finally
recruit.
relevant. Are you
He
kidding
can
me?
recruit.
Oh
He was a
He
God.
good
was not
defensive
only can he
coordinator.
recruit, man,
That's all he was.
his discipline is what's got He changed
Well,
the
why
whole
did they
discipline of
fire
the San
him
Francisco
then?
So,
49ers.
If
cousin,
he was such a hell of a coach,
he
They
would have.
fired him.
So, in other words, he would have made a great general manager, but was it a good
Yeah,
job?
he took
that's
no
about it.
BS from that team. He
He
changed
was
that
horrible.
whole defense around. He changed the
Yeah,
whole
defensive
mentality.
coordinator. You're
Not, I'm
absolutely
gonna tell
right.
you what made him was stand out with Michael Singletary.
Defense.
The 49ers had these ugly jerseys, these maroon
Oh man, we
ugly
talking about
jerseys.
head
Mike
coaching.
Singletary
Nobody cares
came
about a
in there,
uniform.
timeout. Yes, see all that
Nobody
is
cares
though,
about a
cuzzo. That's
uniform.
all psychological. He
And
came in and said, "This ain't the 49ers I played with these ugly jerseys. Do not never bring them back in here. Bring me back them 88 all ready to go, and they've been wearing them ever since." See, that's what I'm saying.
So
but they
a
fired
He
jersey,
him.
did that.
changing a jersey changed everything.
But no,
Changed
not
it.
changed everything, but it changed the mentality. He was saying these guys won 4 Super Bowls, not in those jerseys. They won 4 Super Bowls in the jerseys I remember playing them in.
Hey,
I
okay,
want
that
that's
was
the
a good
49. And he
psychological
and he
thing.
said that.
But
And
but they
since he
fired
coached
him.
them
So
after years,
fashion made them win.
But they
all
fired
of
him.
it. Okay, so he built up the defense.
Okay.
Harbaugh came in. He
Cap.
hung on to Alex Smith too long.
Yeah,
Harbaugh
you
came
now
in. The next year built
you
up the offense. They was in the Super Bowl.
okay.
So,
Well,
you're gonna talk
they
about
fired him.
Balenciaga design their jerseys next year, and they won
Now I'm
the
gonna tell
Super
you just
Bowl.
like this.
Okay.
Now on the opposite side, Josh McDaniels, like you were saying, Lex, Josh McDaniels is offensive coordinator for the New England Patriots for years. They threw him the money. He did get offered head coaching jobs, but they kept paying him to be the offensive coordinator of the New England Patriots, which he was like the quarterback,
I
offensive
wouldn't leave
coordinator with
Tom
Tom
Brady
Brady.
either.
Time out.
Why would you
Then
leave
he
Tom
but he
Brady?
was terrible. He goes to the Raiders. He sucks. He's not a head coach. He's not a leader. That's what I mean.
Hello.
He's not a leader. Michael Singletary
That's
was
what I'm
definitely a
saying.
leader.
And that's why there's such a there's such focus on Mike McCarthy right now as the head coach, because people know he's historically been a good OC, but they're like, can he be a great head coach? Because honestly, you got to give the credit to Aaron Rodgers for why they won. I really can't give props to McCarthy for that.
But McCarthy is a Super Bowl head coach. See,
that's the same debate
it
about
takes
Tom
talent, Lex.
Brady and Belichick.
It's like saying Phil
If Belichick
Jackson.
was a Super Bowl winning head coach, Belichick would have still been winning after Brady left. It's the same formula.
True.
Same formula.
But you're right, but it takes a mix of talent and culture to win a Super Bowl. You know what I mean? It can't be all culture with no talent, and it can't be all talent with no coaching. It's a balance. It has to be.
That's why
like Phil Jackson.
I'm
you know
laser focused on the Cowboys right now, because I'm like, okay, he's calling all the shots for offense. So I'm like, let's see if that works. I mean,
it's not looking bad.
We haven't done it. I'm like, okay, it's not bad. Like, I see good things, I see bad things, but it's like, let's just see if we can be consistent when it counts. Like you said, like, I want to see for the big games, like the Eagles.
Well, one thing I see with Mike McCarthy, because he's a little more older, like I said, the old school coaches, he's just not pass.
Yeah.
He comes
switches
from
it
that
up.
old cloth. So he has a little better balance than just passing everything down.
But that's because he understands the importance, because the new head coaches, they're so focused on a win, versus McCarthy in his era, they're focused on how you win.
Another sidebar, y'all. I know this went on our top 5. We're gonna leave this and we're gonna get into our segment. Shout out to Russell Wilson today, man. Russell Wilson. I watched Marshawn Lynch on the podcast with Shannon Sharp. Shannon kind of, say Russell Wilson was kind of like, didn't really, associate with the team. He kind of stayed to his own. Which is some people like that, but I'm not throwing.
So next we're gonna dive into our recap. No cap, Dad, take it over.
Well, I want to say this, man. Straight cap right now, the way the Niners defense is playing, man. They need to show up, show out, man. Both you got that $200 million. You know what I'm saying? You need to play better. Since you got that $200 million, you need to do your thing. Another thing I want to say is straight cap. You know what I mean? The way the way Kansas City Chiefs came out today looked like real cap, man. You know, y'all gotta keep playing hard. Russell Wilson, no cap on the way you stepped up and led the team. The coaching finally seemed like y'all jailed. I want to say there was no cap. Dallas Cowboys versus the Los Angeles Rams, no cap. Dak Prescott had a hell of a game. I know they beat you up when you lose, but I'm gonna give you your flowers when you win. Shout out for CeeDee Lamb with a big game. Also, no cap. The Ravens is looking like the real deal. You know what I mean? Hey, the Ravens, you better be glad you gave that boy Lamar Jackson his money because he playing for his bag. They seem real focused. They went down to Arizona, handled their business.
But Arizona's 1-7.
Doesn't matter. You're supposed to be now. Sorry, you do. I mean, hey,
and I'm low key wanting to call cap on this whole game with the Chiefs versus the Broncos because the only reason, in my opinion, why the Broncos won is because Mahomes had the flu.
He was sick.
And Taylor Swift didn't show up.
My boy is sick. Don't try to put this on the Swifters. Please don't. Not today. Not this Sunday.
Taylor Swift
That's disrespectful.
Not this Sunday. It's just a slap in the face. Mahomes, I'm gonna give it to it. Mahomes was sick, and you could tell he was out of there. He was out of there.
No cap. Hell of a game in New York. It was grimy. It was ugly. Strong fought battle. You know, looked good. What we thought. No cap. Trevor Lawrence is the real deal. Jacksonville looks like a real playoff team. They look like they're going to probably go deep in the playoffs if they stay healthy. But my last one, who's major cap right now, and they need to turn everything around. They need to get it together.
Who?
I'm gonna say this.
You should say the Niners.
Huh?
You should say the Niners.
I ain't gonna say the Niners. The New Orleans Saints played. Who did the New Orleans Saints play today? They played the Indianapolis.
They played the Colts. They played the Colts.
The Colts, man, was projected to be a playoff team. It doesn't look like that. Carr looked really good though. Shout out to Carr. The car is looking like a Honda. It's definitely
it is working today. Got a little oil up in there. Got an oil change.
Who won the game? Who won the game?
The Saints.
The New Orleans Saints won the game. We're just doing a recap.
They got lucky.
Shout out to the Raiders, Detroit. The game looked like that's gonna be a cap game. I don't know what I'm gonna see tomorrow, but I'm giving a shout out to the Raider Nation. Step up. Let's go, Raider Nation. Shout out to Raider Nation.
Well,
what's your projection on that Raiders game? Because we are going to be covering the Raiders game for Monday Night Football. So what's your projection with the Raiders and the Lions?
I just want to say a cap to a couple of people. You know, he did a lot of capping, but I just want to say cap to two. Number one, I want to shout out, I want to give a cap to the secondary coaches of the San Francisco 49ers. Week in and week out, the players are still doing the same old horrible thing. This is getting horrible. Coaches, defensive coordinator, you guys got to put a stop to this, or you're not going to have a season. I want to give a.
Oh, I heard Damon Dash say this, man. You know, and
I also want to give a cap to
48 bars. You know, and then you get the contract, you can't spit a bar. Hey, I'm gonna say this, man. The Niners. Everybody getting paid. They riding high like they already won the Super Bowl. Let's get back hungry. And Shanahan, I'm going to say this, man. Shanahan might be, what's my boy that used to, he kind of like Harbaugh / the coach that used to coach the Cleveland Browns, where he would get Schottenheimer. His name was Marty Schottenheimer. Marty Schottenheimer get to the AFC Championship, Super Bowl, could never win the big one. And they finally fired him. Shanahan, I'm going to tell you like this. His window's closing. He better turn it around. How many
years you think he got before? I think he got about 2 years. He need to do something.
Got 2. He got this year and next year.
I wouldn't say this year. I definitely say next year and the following year. So I say by 2025, if you ain't got it together, brother, man, I don't know what to tell you.
No, I don't think that. I mean, you know, hey, not for long. That's what the NFL stands for. We'll see. Go ahead, Cuzzo, with your last cap, sir.
Well, the last cap I want to say is to Aaron Donald. You know, kind of spotlighted you on the camera today, Aaron Donald. You know, you used the defensive MVP a couple years ago. I believe you were back-to-back MVP, and that effort you gave today was not a good look. So I'm gonna give you a cap.
And
then I got to piggyback on.
I'm gonna go to the dorm real quick. Just one game stood out.
Did you finish your thought? Hold on. Did you finish your thought, cousin?
Well, I just wanted to piggyback on one cap. I've got my eyes on the quarterback coach for playing Brock Purdy. You're going to get the young man hurt. That was just plain cap. You know, shame on the whole San Francisco 49ers organization, which is my team, but you don't want to hurt this kid's future.
Yeah, well, that'll pretty much that one thing is, you know, we talked a little bit in the barbershop with the Cal. Just one, Cal had the game against USC. I'm a big Cal fan. They could have went to overtime. They was when they tried to go for the win, and with the last seconds, and didn't do it instead of going to overtime, which just didn't make no sense. I mean, give your team a fight, man. That was cap. Come on, Cal. Better coaching.
Okay. So what's your predictions for the Raiders? What's your prediction for the Raiders versus the Lions tomorrow night?
Raiders. I gotta say Raiders gonna get the W because that's the squad. However, I'm gonna say Raiders. You know,
stop playing on Beyonce's internet.
Hard. If the coaching, if he slams something, kicks something, slaps somebody, do something, homie. You know, put some fire under your team, man. You know, you need to be out in Detroit right now, eating snow, having them out in the snow with talking to everybody. You got to do something psychological to get them to wake up. It's still early in the season. I always say, man, it's the first 8, and then it's the second 8. Of course, they play 17 now, but I'm just dividing 8 and 8. But it's the first 8, and then it's the second 8. The second 8, you could go 3-5, and then turn around and go 6-2. It's just like
do the Raiders do that?
Well, they can. That's what I'm saying. They have the potential.
We know potential, but what do they do?
Well, I got a strategy for the Raiders.
Detroit never won nothing in their life.
How about the strategy for the Raiders?
So they ain't like you playing.
The strategy for the Raiders is to bring Beyonce to the game. They're playing in Vegas. Maybe that'll help the tight end out for the Raiders. Because he's a Beyonce.
Maybe they need the help of Beyonce's internet to get them a win.
The Beehive to show up.
Let the Beehive show. You know, like the Swifters did. Maybe y'all need a little of Beyonce.
I need
Dr. I'm concerned. As long as you got Garoppolo at the quarterback, it's all cap. You know, I don't see the final score 31-21.
They need to call Dr. Dre, Ice Cube, Too Short. Everybody come out there with Raider hats, Black Raider hats, Black Raider starters. We gotta get back.
I don't know. I'm gonna say the Lions is gonna beat the Raiders 34-17.
I'm gonna say this: Raiders gonna pull it out 21-20. Raiders.
You're nuts.
Raiders. Let's go.
He ghost riding the whip.
I got him
right now. Ain't no way.
Hey, it's always a way. Broncos just beat the Chiefs.
And I'm talking about the Raiders.
The Broncos just beat the Chiefs. I tell you, anything can happen.
We're talking about the Raiders.
The quarterback was sick. He had a cold.
Detroit
Detroit ain't never won nothing. They ain't won no Super Bowls. I ain't never seen Detroit win a Super Bowl.
That don't mean they can't beat the Raiders tomorrow.
They sure will.
All right, man. Let's close this thing out. Hey, check this out. Be on the lookout
What's good? If y'all like what y'all saw today, be sure to hit that subscribe button.